Hey, good afternoon. I'm here today because I have this 1985 Wahoo. It's in pretty good condition. It's running a 90 horsepower Yamaha two-stroke, and I'm having issues with the tilt. It's been like an epic journey, I would say. Kind of want to show you what the problem is. You can already see right now what's happening there on the ends of those rams and the pistons. See the oil dripping out of the cylinder. So I'm going to lower it here, and then you can see what I'm talking about. And those are new seals actually in the end of those caps right there. So that's far enough, you'll be able to see it. See it just pour right out of there. And I actually had to pump most of the fluid out of there at one point when I was out on the water. When I came in, I couldn't trim the engine, so that made it really tricky towing the boat home. So that's what we're going to fix today. Going to remove these caps right here. Going to put new caps on, and then inside on these pistons, these rams, I'm going to put a new piston seal in there, and then we'll just reinstall it, and hopefully that fixes it. If not, well, we'll burn that bridge when we get there. So before we really get started here, I just want to kind of go through the tools and stuff that I'm using on this. Again, I mentioned in the intro that I just got some standard all-purpose ATF fluid that's recommended by 5-Star Marine, and a bunch of other like boat experts say that's fine. It's a lot less expensive than actual trim fluid, and it works just as well. I got a small funnel for that. You're going to need a 17 millimeter socket to get the fill cap off, some rags, and then I bought this over at AutoZone as well, which is a transfer pump. I normally just sort of like, cobble together some other mechanism to evacuate the fluid out of there, but I figured this is going to be a lot better. Then I got a drain pan, and then a pan that gets pretty messy to capture it. So of all the tools though that you're going to need, this little guy is the most important one. This is called an outboard tilt trim pen wrench, and it has 3 pins on it. This one has 3, some of them have 4. And what you'll need to do is put a 1/2-inch drive in it, put it on the end of the cap, and to unscrew the cap on the cylinders, the trim cylinders. So I'll put a link in the comments to where you can get this online if you want, but you're not going to be able to do this project without this, so I'll show you how it works in just a second. The first thing you want to do is raise the engine all the way up and put on these little service stands here. There's one on each side to make sure. Mine on this side doesn't really work that well, but one is enough. I've got a lot of experience knowing that one will do it for me. It's fine. So get those locked up there. Once those are locked, in the beginning I didn't mention that you'll also need a screwdriver, because in here you want to release the pressure that's inside so that this thing you just turn it forward. Just don't overdo it either direction, just till it's snug. That frees up all the pressure that's in there. The next thing I'm going to do is just grab the 17 socket, and I'm going to open this up just to make sure there's no additional pressure in there. You can just unscrew. This is your fill hole and your drain hole, but it'll build up pressure in there. It shouldn't be any in there right now since you've already released it. Nope, no pressure in there at all. Okay, plus the fluid's already been pushed out of there, so it's probably not. So I can leave that out. I'm just going to take this, set it in a place where I can find it later on the boat, and move on. Alright, now that I've released all the pressure off there, I'm just going to grab this specialized tool that I mentioned. You'll need this. It fits right on here like this, and there's 3 holes. There's 4 holes actually. This is 3. They make another one that actually has 4, but I bought this one with 3 and it works perfectly. So you put that on your wrench. Make sure it's flush and hold it against there so it doesn't get messed up, and then you should be able to just turn that if it's not too stuck. I mean, some of these can get stuck in there, so be patient. Then once it gets loose, you should be able to turn it by hand. All getting caught, and that's the cap. So that's what we're going to be replacing today, is this cap. They look fine, but they're not working. Alright, so now I'm just going to grab these cylinders and just work them out of here. These pistons, I mean, out of the cylinders. Okay, so there's your piston right there, your little ram. And these are the seals that I'm going to replace right here. There's two parts to it, so we'll replace that. Okay, down there. Alright, there it is. Okay, looks pretty good. Don't see any damage or anything on those things, so that's all good. Again, these are the seals we're going to replace, these two right here. Very straightforward job. Okay, so those are out. Alright, so before we start working on this, I'm just gonna go ahead and try my new tool here. You're gonna watch it happen in real time. According to the instructions, it said put the top end in the part you want to transfer and the bottom where you want it to go. Oh my god, look at that. Suavecito. Nice. That was so fast. Okay, I like it. Let's try this one now. Alright, second one's not quite as satisfying. Let's see. First one. Alright, well, it had a good run. Short-lived. Maybe this is not right. Yeah, that worked so perfectly on that first one, and then it just seems to have lost its seal. Now it's not doing anything. Okay, well, I'll have to go back to my old system and try to figure that out later. Okay. Alright, so let's give this a shot. This thing's starting to get worn out a bit too, but it's been fun. Alrighty, before we go inside and start working on rebuilding those things, I'm going to go ahead and put some paper towels in here just to make sure no debris flies in here while we're in there. Also help soak up some of that other oil that's in there. And then we'll be able to wipe it out nice and clean. And I'll even go ahead and put the just thread the plug loosely in there just to make sure we don't have anything go in there that we don't want in there. Alright, awesome. I'll take it to the bench now. Okay, we're at the bench now. So I've got everything out. These are the pistons or rams. Alright, these are the things we're going to fix. We're going to replace these right here on this one. These are the old caps, so we're going to get rid of those, put them over here, right? But I will probably use them to match the size of the seal that goes on there. As you can see from this kit, there's a bunch of different seals because it's also for the tilt. And so there's a whole set for the tilt, and then it almost seems like there's for another configuration too. So again, I bought this on Amazon, but it's from 5 Star Marine, which is located in Newport Richey, Florida. Port Richey, it says, actually. I didn't even know there was actually a town called Port Richey. So I thought it was only Newport Richey. Anyway, here's the new caps. We'll put those on. We don't have to mess with those. They already have their seals in it, but it does confirm that I put the seals in these correctly last time. Okay, so that's nice. So the first thing I'm going to do is carefully try not to damage the metal on any of this. This is just a little seal pick here. I get this out of here without stabbing myself. Okay. All right. So that's that. And this little guy will come off pretty easily. Okay. So these are the old ones. Let's match it up. I'm going to say that's a match right there. Old one over there. And I'm going to say that looks too big. That's a match there. Old one over there. So I'm going to say that that's a match, those two. Now, could be that like it's leaking because I should have used those and I used these instead. And so if this leaks again, there's always one last shot, right? And that is to go and try this next set over here that's a little bit bigger, because now I don't have the originals, but I think I matched them up pretty nicely when I did it the first time. So you can see that the order goes on, the little Teflon or plastic piece goes on this side, then the this new seal goes on like that. Alright, so that goes on pretty easily. Okay, then I'll do this one. Don't mess the metal up by being a spaz like me. Okay, that came off. Alright, then we'll just clean this up a little bit. Take advantage of this opportunity to get any schmutz off of there. And then we'll say that's the new one, that's the old one, that's the new one, that's the old one. Okay. Go ahead and put this white plastic piece back on. Or Teflon, looks like Teflon to be honest, but I'll call it plastic because. Okay, so, all right, those are together. That's that. All right, sweet. And here's a diagram that comes with this kit that you can get online. I think it's like $69. And then on the back here has some instructions, but down here it says basic Dexron 3 Mercon non-synthetic ATF fluid will work perfectly fine in your unit and will outperform the biodegradable fluids used in most units today. So that's good to know. Go on with the ATF. Alrighty, installation time. Alrighty, so now we're going to install these things. First thing we'll do is take this and these out of here. Just sort of like give them a good wipe in there, make sure there's no weird debris, and it's got looks really clean in there. The threads look good. The seats look good. So I'm going to go ahead and say those are good to go. So given that my new pump, so before I even put those pistons back in, I'm going to go ahead and pre-fill it with some ATF. It'll make it a lot easier than waiting. So I'm using my little gallon pump here. Let's see what we get. Nice, fresh fluid. Okay. Alright, looks good. Boom. Over to this one. Kick it over. Alrighty, so now grab these pistons. I don't think right, left matters. So then we're just going to, I'm just going to put a little bit more hydraulic oil on there right now to help get it in there. So let's see if we can gently, without scuffing it on those threads, get it in there. There we go. Okay, that one's in there. Sweet. Okay, and then I'll do this one. A little Move on there just to help it. Stuff it on the threads. Alright, that seems to be in there. Okay, those two are in there. Now, the exciting part. We're going to put these caps on, these new caps. Hot shit. Boom. Come on, baby, be the right caps. Oh my god, it just threaded right on there. Almost like it was planned. Yeah, so these guys make all their own stuff in-house. They manufacture it out of this aircraft aluminum. And they claim that all their materials are better than OEM. So I'm going to go with it, you know. Plus, they're so nice to work with over at 5 Star Marine. I mean, if you ever call in for parts, it's for Gina Marie. She'll help you out. Right. Okay. That's as tight as I can get by hand. So it's a little bit more going. Okay. That's good. My wrench here. Fit in there. It'd be a real bummer if these had like different size posts, but they seem to notice that. Just say, like, as you do with everything, don't over tighten it. These things are gonna, it's all aluminum and rubber seals. You don't need to get crazy. This probably has a proper torque, but I got it built into my forearms now. It's called don't over tighten shit. Doesn't seat in there perfectly, so you gotta be extra careful. Okay, I probably could use the other. It comes with another set of these that are a little bit smaller. That might be the exact right fit. But this seems gonna be snug enough. This one more time. Now I want to go over here and snug this one down. Now that they're seated a little bit, might have a little bit of room. Okay, that's definitely snug. Okay, so that's in. Alrighty. Go ahead and top off this reservoir here. A little more in there. Finger tighten this to start with, because you're gonna have to take it off as you bleed it. So just, you don't need to snug it up yet. Okay. After you've topped off the reservoir, you're going to want to lock this. Let's turn it away from the boat, counterclockwise. Okay. Now we're gonna want to go ahead and go back over here and see if we can't lift the engine. Enough. Oh, look at that. Oh, lifted those up enough to Take the safeties off. Nice. Maybe take this safety off right there. Alrighty. So we're looking good. Let's go down here. See, I don't see any leak yet, but let's not get too excited. So we're going to bring it all the way down and then back up. I have to bleed it a few times, so get all the air out of there. So I'm going to take it all the way down. Any leakage? Oh my goodness, no leakage. Dynamite. Alright, so far so good. So now we just want to let any air that's in here out. Just puff out a little bit and then, oh, look, plenty up. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get a little more fluid in there. Good, and then just maybe a little more. It's kind of just starting to drip out. I don't like to let a bunch come out. That just reassures me that I've filled it all the way. Okay, so tighten that, and then the bleeding process is you just go up and down a couple times. A few times, maybe 3 or 4 times, and then let the air out each time. All done. Do a little wipe up, clean up, snug this guy up. Don't forget that piece of it. Just snug it up. Remember, never ever tighten anything. Give it a good wipe down. And well, there you go. Well, there we have it. All done. Worked out really well. We replaced the seals on the pistons. We replaced the caps. Solved the problem. Tilt works perfectly. Trim works well. Really happy. It was a fun and satisfying job. Don't skimp on those caps if you're having trouble with those seals leaking. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.